All right. Um, hi, everyone. I probably would recognize your names, but most likely not recognize your faces. So if you've taken one of my courses in the past 2 semesters, welcome back. My name is Jason Choi. I've been teaching since 2022 was my first semester. As a professor said, I am a graduate of Cal State Fullerton Master's Program in Software Engineering. That was 10 years ago now. Right? So I started in 2015, which was one of the first cohorts for the online, or not the online, but the in-person accelerated masters. Yeah. Now we're here, and if anything has changed 10 years ago, which it has, I think stuff has changed even in the past 3 years since I started teaching. Most notably, as Professor mentioned, integration of AI. So definitely, I think during this semester at least, and even my previous semester, I've seen folks using AI more and more, right? And to their advantage, to whatever means, I think we have to embrace it. So there's going to be, as Professor Kong mentioned, a lot of changes in software development. I myself was a skeptic a year ago. In the past couple of months, I've used Copilot to do some coding, to write some tests for me. I've seen in the news things about vibe coding and how people who have no experience in coding made apps for the better or worse, right? Things have failed, things have, people forgot about security, but, it's only going to get better. And you're either going to get left behind or you're going to be on the bus, right? Also, what I also want to mention is with AI and aside from AI, the role of a full stack engineer. A decade ago, a full stack engineer, the definition was very specific. Someone who knew the front end, the middleware, the back end, and they could work on all layers of the software stack, right? Now that definition has grown, right? We have in our online program courses on software management, specifications, right? Certainly, engineers are taking part in testing a lot more. So there's a blurred line between a testing department and a development department, right? 5 years ago, Amazon had a position called SDET, Software Development Engineering and Test. Now it's not so much, right? You see, I mentioned in previous lectures what we call the shift left paradigm, where engineers are doing the testing, right? Engineers are writing the test even before they write any piece of code, right? Test-driven development, right? But where do those come from? They come from software specification, know about the business. So suddenly now the definition of a full stack engineer, the responsibility has grown, right? In order to be a good full stack engineer, you have to know the business side. You not only have to know how to build a product right, you also have to know how to build the right product, which is knowing the specifications, what the users want, being able to really transform the business requirements into software requirements. Think about the customer. Even where I work, the motto is, customer obsession. Even for engineers, could you have believed that in 10 years ago? We were all separated 10 years ago. The product was the product side. There was nothing like a product manager. Maybe it was just starting out 10 years ago, but now, there's a lot of emphasis placed on engineers who could see both sides of the equation, right? So, testing is definitely part of that. Also measurement. We talk about, when I taught this class 3 years ago, it was a lot heavily focused on measuring to improve the software process. But now, if you guys work with dashboards like Tableau or business dashboards that give you business metrics, who provides that data? It's engineers, right? Engineers through the code provide that data. So it's only natural for engineers to be part of that process and know about the business, what kind of metrics make sense to help the business. So incorporating those topics, I think, are going to be more and more important as we go along. Definitely a change in the curriculum from 3 years ago when I taught this class. So I'll try to incorporate more of that into real world applications. I know when I taught software management last semester in person, I introduced like Jira. You guys used Jira before? Like actual projects using that kind of stuff. So that was, at least the feedback I got was people were found that to be very useful. So maybe we do a Tableau dashboard semester or something like that. But just stay tuned and the logistics of my course, if you haven't taken my course before, usually every Thursday, Thursday or Friday morning, I post a new lecture material and the assignment due for the week. And then we do that. We do a group project and midterms and finals online, obviously. But all of that will be posted in the following week on Thursday, and we'll start off going over the syllabus and potentially the first chapter as well. Right. So look out for that, and I look forward to interacting with all of you. Those of you here, also ask any questions along the way about career or anything like that I can help with. Definitely willing to help there. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm going to encourage you to attend Jason's class. He mentioned, he's working now. Right? So he's developing software. He's using all this new stuff, right? So you talk about metrics, they actually have to use it. From an engineering perspective,